So I've thought about some of my favorite summer foods, and now I'm going to paint a picture of them right onto the plate. So the first thing I'm going to do is paint some ribs. My dad and mom make ribs and they are so good. I just love them. One of my favorites. So I'm just gonna get a brown color going here, and I'll go back in to make some more detail, but I just kind of wanted to get it started. And another thing I like is watermelon. I'm going to take the white and put a little bit of red, try to get some pink color here. Maybe a little more red. Watermelon's a pretty warm red color. So I'm going to make a triangle of watermelon next to the ribs. Just basically make a triangle. I'm going to dip in the white a little bit, and I'm going to make a little stripe of a light pinky that turns into white, because right, it happens like that, and then what happens? It's gonna be green next. Oh, I got too wet there. I'm gonna pick some of that back up. I'm going to paint the rind. We have here a nice piece of watermelon. Maybe we'll put in a couple of those little white seeds, but I gotta get all the green out first. Okay, and then another thing I like is corn on the cob. That's a nice summery thing. I'm just gonna make the basic shape right now, and then I can go back in to give it some more texture. Corn on the cob is yellow. So it's going to be a little tricky to get it smooth in these little bumps. So I would suggest going over it slow, because we want that. I'm going to make it a little lighter in the middle to make it help it look a little more round. Okay. So I'm putting a little bit of yellow to make the middle, I'm sorry, that's not yellow. I'm putting white in the middle to try to make it look a little more round, and we could even add some dark on the outside to make it look like it's coming off of the plate. Because the idea is we might kind of fool some people into thinking this is real food on a plate. Okay, we don't want to break their hearts, but it's kind of a cool thing when you're like, wait, is that food? And then you're like, oh, no, that's a painting. So it's a special technique called Trompe oil, where you're tricking the eye with paint. It's been used all over the world, and I thought we could play around with it today. So I'm gonna make the parts in between where the bone is darker, putting on more paint here. And I might have to wait for it to dry a little bit, but we've got a good looking summer plate started here. I could even have a little butter on the top of my corn. Give it that cone. A big lump with knobs. All right. I think for the corn, I will put a little, I probably need a smaller brush here. Let me grab that. So there's a bunch of kernels on corn, and I'm thinking if we use a little bit of the brown, perhaps, that we can kind of get some of this texture. Right, there's all these little knobs, little kernels, little details here on the side. And we can kind of do it bit by bit. I don't want to do too much. I don't want it to look like elote, unless that is the kind of corn that you like. That's a spiced corn from Mexico. So maybe just a little bit of, oh, my paint's pretty wet in the middle still, so just adding a little bit of texture here. I'm just particularly putting it around the outside, a little in the middle. Okay, coming along. We could maybe add a little shadow to our watermelon to make one side look like it's the edge. So let's make it a little darker on this side to make it look like it is coming up off of the plate. And I might even, the white is going to be trickier, right? Because it's white, but maybe what we'll do okay, I think that helps it. We've got one dark edge here, making it look like you might be able to pick it up. I feel like the ribs need some work, but I'm gonna have to let them dry before I can work on them again. That's, I'm gonna smooth this out so that it's darker all the way across so it doesn't look like it just stops there. Okay, that's better. Okay, that's all for now.